Hello everyone and welcome to our final week of the flexibility program. Today we have front splits. Come into a high kneeling position and step that right foot forward, coming into low lunge, knees stacked over top of the ankle. Take your arms behind your head and open up through the chest, interlacing the fingertips, taking your gaze slightly upward, pushing the hips towards the mat. Now stay here for a moment, but we're going to take a mobility exercise. We're going to twist around towards the right side, come back to low lunge, and then we're going to push back into half split position. Really finding active stretches in the hips, in the psoas as well, and in the hamstring when we come into that half split. Make sure you don't place your hands on the mat for the entirety of this. We're just doing this 5 times. We're really finding that balance, especially in that half split as we lower the chest down towards the leg. Just repeat this a few more times, getting that mobility in the lower body. Now take your hands to the mat surrounding your foot and push back into half split position, stacking your foot so that you're on your heel, toes pointing towards the sky, hips are square, allowing the nose to fall away towards the knee, belly is over top of that thigh. Maybe move your foot from side to side to get a little bit of mobility in that hamstring and calf. Hold for another breath. Then take your left hand to the other side of that right foot, so the long edge, the right side of your right foot, and just gently pull the toes towards the left side, keeping the leg exactly as it is, and you'll get a nice deep stretch along the side of that right leg, really opening up the IT band here. Hold for another breath here. Return the left hand back to center, push forward into low lunge. Hold here for a moment. And then reaching back with that right hand, we're going to pull the left heel towards the glute as much as you can. Keep the toes pointed. Feel that stretch mainly in the left quad, but also in the psoas and hip flexor. Hold for a few breaths here. Maybe even come up onto the tiptoes of the right foot to get an optimum stretch. Return the right hand back. We're going to make our way onto the other side. So let's come into low lunge with the left foot stepping forward, making sure the knee is directly over top of the ankle, hands behind the head. We're going to twist, take our low lunge, and then we're going to come back into our half split. So when you're ready, let's start that sequence. Push back into half split, keep that balance. It's quite hard, I know it's hard, even I was struggling. Push forward into low lunge and twist towards the left side. Try and lower the belly as close towards the thighs as possible. It may be good to tuck your right toes under to keep that balance. Coming up onto the heel as we come into that half split. Feel that twist in the spine as we twist. This will really get into the right psoas. Just a few more of these. Feel that stretching of the lower body. Every single sensation you feel, register it. Place your hands on the mat and let's go into our half split now. So coming up onto the heel of the left foot, folding over that straight left leg, making sure it's as straight as possible. You're folding from the hips here. Take a few deep breaths in this position, really feeling this in the hamstring mainly and in the calf. Make sure the right knee is stacked underneath the hip as well. That's so important. Hips are square. Then take your right hand to the other side of that left foot and gently pull the toes towards the right side, feeling that stretch in the side of that left leg. Hold for a few breaths here. Return back to our low lunge for a breath. Then when you're ready, we're going to reach back with the left hand for that right foot, pulling the heel towards the glute. Taking that quad stretch this time on the right side. Again, you're stretching the quad and also the right psoas, so the upper part of that leg and in the hip. This is really great and is so key for getting your split, so really try and go deep here. Return the hand back to center and let's come into our tabletop. Now let's practice the splits. Stepping forward with the right foot, slowly shift into half split and walk your foot forward, allowing the hips to fall down to the mat. Try and keep your hips as square as possible. Toes are pointed to get that elongation of the muscle fibers. Try and hold here for as long as possible, but when you feel you need to come into that half split nice and slowly. And let's begin on the other side. So step the left foot forward, allow the hips to sink down, try and keep the hips square, but I know that's the difficult part if you're in your splits. Keep the toes pointed and really feel this deep stretch in the hamstring and in the psoas. Hold for another few seconds and then you'll be done. Wonderful, lift your way out of that split. Thank you so much for joining me today. You've been wonderful on this journey. Namaste.